This particular session covers the topic that is wear strength of gear tooth. We know that for design of gear, beam strength and wear strength are the criteria based on which we are designing the gear. And in this particular session, we will derive the equation for the wear strength of the gear tooth. So failure of gear tooth due to pitting occurs when the contact stresses between two meshing teeth exceed the surface endurance strength of the material. This topic we have already seen in the session which is covered as gear tooth failure. Pitting is a surface fatigue failure characterized by small pits on the surface of the gear tooth. The analysis of wear strength was done by Earl Buckingham in his paper entitled The Relation of Load to Wear Gear Teeth. Buckingham equation is based on Hertz theory of contact stress. We know that contact stress, the stress which is acting at the contact point or contact area of the two mating surfaces. So when two cylinders are pressed together, the contact stress is given by the relationship that is sigma c equal to 2p by pi bl, where b is in terms of load, Poisson's ratio of the material, E1 and E2 are nothing but the modulus elasticity of pinion as well as gear, pitch circle diameters of pinion and gear, that is D1 and D2, and the contact length, or you can say in case of gear, the face width of the gear, that is L, where sigma c is the maximum value of compressive stress, P is the force pressing the two cylinders together. Here you can see in this particular figure the force P is acting on both the cylinder and P is trying to press the two cylinders together. B is the half width of dedundum. L is the axial length of cylinder. D is the diameter of the cylinder. E is the modulus of elasticity of cylinder material. And mu is nothing but the Poisson's ratio. So due to deformation under action of load P, a rectangular surface of width 2b and length L is formed between two cylinders. If you look at in this figure, say this is the contact area between two cylinders. So the contact area will be like this, which is having the width 2b and length L. The elliptical stress distribution across the width, that is total width is 2b, is considered. Means here this contact area is hexagraded in figure C. Elliptical stress distribution is considered across the width. Squaring the equation which we have discussed in the previous slide for stress on both the sides and simplifying by putting the equation of half width, we can get that sigma c equal to 1 upon pi into 1 minus mu square into p by l into 1 by r1 plus r1 upon r2 divided by 1 upon e1 plus 1 upon e2, where r1 and r2 are nothing but the radii of two cylinders, and substituting the mu, that is Poisson's ratio, equal to 0.3, we get the sigma c equal to 0.35 into p by l into 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon R2 whole divided by 1 upon E1 plus 1 upon E2. So in this figure you can see that there is a one pair of gear teeth in contact. So now you have to consider this gear teeth profile is nothing but the part of a cylinder for gear as well as for pinion, and these two surfaces are pressing and resulting into the contact stress, that is sigma c. So the equation of contact stress is given by the basis of the following assumption. This equation is based on the assumption that these cylinders are made of isotropic material, elastic limit is not exceeded, R1 and R2 are very large as compared to width, that is 2V of the deformation. The value of R1 and R2 is calculated from the given figure, that is R1 equal to d dash p sin alpha by 2 and R2 is equal to dg dash sin alpha by 2. So here in this particular figure, if you consider this triangle, then this one is the R1. This one is the R1. So this R1, this arrow represents the radius R1 for the one of the cylinder which represent a gear tooth on pinion. That R1 equal to dp dash sin alpha by 2. And same way, if you consider this triangle, that is at the gear, this triangle, then R2, which is nothing but the radius of second cylinder, which is represented by the gear tooth which is on gear. So this represents the R2. So R2 is equal to dg dash by 2 into sin alpha. Once the R1 and R2 is known, we can simplify the term, that is 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon R2 equal to 2 by sin alpha into 1 upon dp dash plus 1 upon dg dash. Then substituting the value of R1 and R2, which we have seen in the last slide. We know the ratio factor Q is defined as 2ZZ divided by ZP plus ZZ. Here ZZ is nothing but the number of teeth on gear. ZP is the number of teeth on pinion. So now multiplying with module M on both numerator and denominator, we get, that is Q equal to now 2mZZ divided by M into ZG plus ZP. We know that M into ZG is nothing but the DG dash. So pitch circle diameter is nothing but the M into number of teeth. So Q, ultimately we can obtain Q equal to 2 DG dash divided by DG dash plus DP dash. So 1 upon DG dash plus 1 upon DP dash equal to 2 upon Q into DP dash. From this relationship, we can obtain this. So ultimately, if we substitute this term, that is 1 upon dg dash plus 1 upon dp dash in this equation over here, then we can obtain 1 upon r1 plus 1 upon r2 equal to 4 by q dp dash sin alpha. We also know that force acting on the pitch line is Pn, that is the resultant load. In terms of Pt, it is written as Pt by cos alpha. Again, this relationship we have seen in the topic which we have covered, that is the force analysis. Now we move further, and the axial length of the gear, that is L, equal to face width, that is B. Substituting all the equation in the sigma c square equation, we get sigma c square equal to now 0.35 in the bracket. This represents the load P. So P is now replaced by Pt by cos alpha. L is replaced by B. 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon R2 is now replaced by 4 divided by Q dp dash into sin alpha over 1 upon E1 plus 1 upon E2. On simplification, we can obtain sigma c square equal to 1.4 times Pt divided by Bq dp dash sin alpha cos alpha into 1 upon E1 plus 1 upon E. This relationship we have obtained. So now the load stress factor, that is K, is defined as K equal to sigma c square sin alpha cos alpha into 1 upon E1 plus 1 upon E2 divided by 1.4. Ultimately, we get that Pt equal to Bq dp dash by K. Now that Pt is in terms of face width B, ratio factor Q, dp dash, that is nothing but the pitch circle diameter of pinion, and load stress factor K. So this equation gives the relationship of tangential force Pt with the contact stress. Here the term K incorporates the sigma c. So the Pt is related to the contact stress. Pitting occurs when the contact stress reaches the magnitude of the surface endurance strength. Therefore, the wear strength is the maximum value of the tangential force that the tooth can transmit without pitting failure. Therefore, the equation of wear strength can be written as SW equal to BQ dP dash into K. Here Pt is now replaced by SW. So SW is the nothing but the maximum value of the tangential force with which the tooth can withstand without pitting failure. So that is nothing but the wear strength. So the wear strength is the maximum value of the tangential force that the tooth can transmit without pitting failure, and the equation is SW equal to BQ dP dash K, where SW is the wear strength of gear tooth. To avoid failure of gear tooth due to pitting, SW should be greater than P effective. P effective is nothing but the effective load. So ultimately this is the design criteria. So when factor of safety is given, then the SW should be equal to P effective into Fs. Here the Fs is nothing but the factor of safety, and value of Fs is recommended as 1.5 to 2. When the material of both the gears are still with 20° pressure angle, the value of load stress factor will be equal to, that is K equal to 0.16 into BHN by 100 whole square, where BHN is the Brinell hardness number of the used steel. So now we will see the wear strength of gear tooth for helical gear. For spur gear, we know that the wear strength is the maximum value of the tangential force that the tooth can transmit without pitting failure, and for the spur gear the equation is the SW equal to B into Q into dP dash into K, where B is the face width of the gear tooth, Q is the ratio factor, dP dash is the pitch circle diameter of the pinion and K is the load stress factor, which incorporates the sigma C, means the stress. So the wear strength equation of the spur gear is modified to suit the helical gear. In case of helical gear also, a pair of helical gear is considered as the formative pinion and formative gear in a plane which is perpendicular to the tooth element. So formative gear and formative pinion means formative spur gear. The topic we have discussed in the session titled as the number of virtual teeth and the formative spur gear for the particular helical gear. So you can refer that to understand about the formative pinion as well as formative gear in terms of the formative spur gear for a or particular helical gear. The wear strength perpendicular to the tooth element, that is SW equal to SWN. Phase width along the tooth element, that is B equal to B by cos psi. Here B is the phase width or width of the gear. For the helical gear, the phase width of the tooth which is along the tooth element, that is B by cos psi. Pitch circle diameter of the formative spur gear for the pinion, that is dP by cos psi square. And so substituting B and dP in the equation of wear strength, we obtain SWN equal to BQ dP into K divided by cos cube psi. We know that SW equal to SWN into cos psi. So ultimately SW equal to B into Q into dP into K divided by cos square psi. Here B is the width of the helical gear, Q is the ratio factor, dP is the pitch circle diameter of helical gear, K is the load stress factor, and psi is the helix angle. The virtual number of teeth on pinion and gear are Zp dash and Zz dash. So the ratio factor Q for the external helical gear is given in terms of Zp dash and Zz dash. But we know this relation that Zp dash equal to Zp by cos cube psi and Zz equal to Zz by cos cube psi. So when we substitute Zp dash and Zg dash for the Q, we ultimately end up with the relationship that is Q equal to Zg divided by Zg plus Zp. Here Zg is nothing but the number of teeth on helical gear and Zp is nothing but the number of teeth on pinion, which is a helical gear. In case of helical gear, the normal pressure angle is considered with reference to the formative corresponding spur gear. So, the equation of load stress factor, that is K, equal to sigma C square into sin alpha n into cos alpha n into 1 upon EP plus 1 upon EG divided by 1.4. In case of spur gear, we are considering alpha instead of alpha n. So for helical gear, we have to consider the normal pressure angle, where sigma C is nothing but the surface endurance strength in Newton per mm square or megapascal. EP and EG are the moduli of elasticity of materials for pinion and gear. Alpha n is the normal pressure angle. Load stress factor K equal to 0.16 into BHN by 100 whole square. This equation is applicable for the steel gears with normal pressure angle 20 degree. To avoid the failure, SW should be greater than P effective. So SW should be greater than P effective is nothing but the design criteria. Or when factor of safety is given, then design criteria is SW, that is the wear strength of gear, equal to P effective, that is effective load, into factor of safety. I hope the topic is clear.